And I'm walking around Seoul at whatever hour of the day or night, never once thinking about crime.
미국 내에서 손꼽히는 한류학자 샘 리처드. 그는 지난 2018년 강의에서 BTS가 누구인지 모른다면 앞으로 세계에서 경쟁할 수 없을 것이라고 말한 영상이 유튜브로 퍼지면서 유명해졌습니다. 그는 인종, 젠더, 문화 관계에 대한 강의로 미국 텔레비전계 최고상인 에미상을 수상하기도 했습니다. 그는 글로벌 위기에 맞설 해답이 한국에 있다라고 말한 것으로도 유명한데요. 놀라운 것은 그의 강연이 전 세계적으로 유명해진 후에도 그는 단 한 번도 한국은 방문해 본 적이 없었다는 것입니다. 그의 한국 방문 계획은 코로나로 막혀 미뤄졌었고 결국 올해 5월에 처음으로 한국을 방문하게 되었는데요. 그 이후 10월에 또 한 번 한국을 찾았습니다. 수많은 사람들에게 한국의 이야기를 하던 그는 한국에 직접 와보는 것이 간절했는데요. 그가 직접 본 한국은 그동안 자신이 알던 것보다 더 놀랍다고 말하기도 했습니다. 한국에서 수많은 사람들에게 강연을 하고 한국의 다양한 문화를 체험하고 돌아간 그는 이제 통계와 자료가 아닌 그가 실제 한국에서 겪은 경험을 학생들에게 이야기해 줄 수 있었습니다. 그도 말로만 듣던 실제 한국의 치안에 대해 한국은 이렇다더라가 아닌 실제 자신과 와이프의 경험담을 함께 이야기합니다. 샘 리처드 교수의 최근 강의 내용 함께 보시겠습니다.
The past 2 weeks I was in Seoul, and what I realized in Seoul a couple of times, several times actually, but had all these experiences that I was reminded of being in different other places in the world. And I was mostly reminded of being in the Middle East, and where I don't ever think about crime. And I'm walking around Seoul at whatever hour of the day or night, never once thinking about crime. And I was reminded, one time, for example, my wife left her phone on a bench, and we're in the middle of the city, right? And then she left, and was like, oh man, my phone, but never worried that someone was going to take it. Was just worried that she had to get back there to get it because her phone was going to be sitting on the bench. And being able to be in public and pull a big wad of money out anywhere, and my phone, just having my phone wherever, it's just a non-issue, right? I'm not going to get robbed at all. And what I realized was how much that crime has impacted me. And just here, in most parts of this country, right? State college is a little bit different, but nonetheless, right? How much crime has impacted me. And in different places that I go, how I'm really thinking about it. Just constantly thinking about it, right? But first off, I don't mostly think about crime because I just feel like I just don't think about it consciously because I'm a sociologist and I can read things pretty quickly, but it's in my subconscious. And so we live in it's a relatively safe area, but the safe area is about 4 blocks. And even right outside our door of the apartment building, people get robbed. You know what I mean? You go out with your phone and suddenly someone comes out of nowhere and your phone's gone. And so it's just a constant battle. You get on the Transme, you get this kind of overground kind of subway system, and you got to watch at every moment. You're watching, just paying attention to stuff. Non-issue in Korea. Never thought about it. And so what I was thinking is, it'd be really nice to have a conversation about that and to talk a little bit about different parts of the world and how people think about crime and also how we think about guns. So I want to have this conversation about just different aspects of crime. Because once again, One thing that I think is really fascinating for me as a sociologist is that I get that we, as a class, we get to listen to our classmates talk about, I could just tell you things and give you PowerPoint slides and stuff, but it's much more interesting, I think, to hear from people. Like, what's it like, right? But go ahead.
I don't really think about crime that much, especially just being from a small town. But I think, like, say I go outside of Hamilton, I go to Philly a lot, so sometimes I think about crime there. Or if I'm out with my friends, especially being a girl at night, like if I'm going to, say, Target or something, walking to my car alone, that's kind of scary. But
So walking to your car, like at night, it's scary.
Yeah.
All right. People, and when you decide, hey, I'm going into the city or something, right? Do your parents talk about it?
yeah, last Christmas I actually was going to go to Philly, but my parents actually didn't let me because of the rising crime in the city.
Yeah?
So I wasn't allowed to go.
When you go into the city, I bring a knife with me. I just have a knife in my backpack or on my person, just in case. And also, stuff started getting stolen from me when I was in school at a young age. That's just because I don't know, kids just like to steal, I guess. So crime was apparent to me a lot of the time, and then I knew kids in high school that would break into cars and just steal, and then gangs and stuff were prevalent where I lived. So crime was on my mind a lot of the time. And when I went to the city, I would make sure to put a rubber band around my wallet in my pocket. So if I tried to get pickpocketed, it would pull out, and you'd know that somebody's pulling your wallet out. And I don't know, just weird stuff that you start to think about when you know there's crime prevalent. Because if somebody pickpockets you, a lot of the time there's not one person pickpocketing you. So somebody will come up and distract you, and then there'll be other people that start surrounding you, and they start taking your stuff. So if you do put it was my dad, my friend's dad that grew up in the Bronx told me to do it. And he was like, yo, if you go into the city, just keep a rubber band on you and make sure it's around stuff that you care about when it's in your pocket, because the rubber band will cause friction in your pocket, and you'll know that somebody's trying to take something from you.
I used to do that in Ecuador. I got pickpocketed all the time, man. Bro, Ijun, how about you? How's crime in China, man?
I would say that growing up in China, we don't really worry about robbery or homicide, but pickpocketing definitely is a concern when you go to some touristy spots.
A touristy spot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that you can put a rubber band on your wallet to prevent it from happening. And also I think nowadays when I think about crime, I think there's definitely a gender difference. Girls would be worried at night, and because they're
Go ahead.
Yeah, and especially things like sexual assault. It definitely happens when late at night, drunk men would approach girls and try to, I don't know, take advantage of them or something. So it's definitely a heated debate going on, especially on the internet, between genders. So people talk about gender-related crimes more often than robbery or homicide. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Parth, how about you? How often are you thinking about and talking about crime? In Bombay?
Quite often, because considering not all crimes, maybe just highlighting something like pickpocketing and thefts. You need to be very careful. So at every moment when you step out, you need to be careful when you are in maybe public places. So you never understand where you have been theft, or you have something missing from your pockets.
When you are in Mumbai, right? You're walking on the street, and how do you know who to be afraid of or concerned about?
So, well, first, it's not to be afraid of, it's to be more...
to protect yourself from. Yeah.
So, the person maybe who follows me or maybe continues to follow me for a quite a longer distance. So, we have an idea that there's something going to happen wrong. So, maybe to prevent the further situations.
Yeah. Okay. So for you, the kind of crime would be like crimes of opportunity, like robbery, pickpocket, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Sarah, by the way, when you think about going, when your parents are saying like, hey, we're not going to let you go into the city, what are they thinking is going to happen?
Probably they just assume the worst. I mean, it's like the media, the news, they show the worst. So I think they just don't want me to be, I guess, like an opportunity for someone, say, to pickpocket or, I don't know. I really don't know. I guess they expect the worst, but I don't want to think about that. But I think they're just looking out for my safety.
Shin, how about you? So in Seoul. So what I was saying about Seoul is that like,
I don't think I think about crime while I'm walking the street.
you don't?
I don't, but just in case, because my town has so many alleys,
Yeah.
so I took like knives just in case.
So you would, instead of taking like a really small alley, you might take a more of a larger street.
Yeah.
Just in case, so what? What do you mean just in case? In case what?
In case like sexual assault stuff
So for you, it's as a woman, it's
as a
that.
woman, but not the like robbery or something. I don't think about it.
You never think about it. Yeah. And Ijun, same thing with like that. You're not thinking about that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been to Korea. I've been to Seoul before. It's like I would like just leave my bag in public.
Yeah.
I don't worry about people like taking those stuff, but like at night, I think it's like pretty common. Like girls like worry about like sexual assault more
Yeah,
than like
yeah.
pickpocketing and stuff.
Yeah. You know, so the story I gave about Lori and her phone, that you relate to that. Like she left her phone on the bench. What happened was we ended up calling her phone and someone picked it up. And I was with someone who was Korean, so she talked to them. And they said, oh, yeah, no, the phone's right here. Well, and we said, okay, we're going to send her back to get it. And they said, okay, yeah, but we can bring it to you. And we're like, no, that's okay. We'll just come back. It's easier. I mean, it's just like nothing. Sarah, do you have questions for them? Like, like, how would that be? What would it be like for you to be in a city like Seoul, where there's
I think it would definitely be strange, but also like where I'm from specifically, the
Yeah,
small
right.
town, that I could leave my stuff and it'd be fine. But if
Yep.
I was in a big city, I wouldn't leave it. I was actually I was in Wildwood, New Jersey a couple years ago, and I left my phone in the bathroom for probably about 10 minutes, and I came back and it was gone. So, I mean, that's kind of relatively the same area as me, but like hearing their experiences, it seems like the phone would still be there. So I couldn't imagine that.
구독과 좋아요 눌러주시면 영상 제작에 큰 도움이 됩니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다.